Our main character Marta is taking a few kids to swimming classes. After the class, she heads home and takes her shower, before leaving for the university, where she is a professor. Marta is an academic staff in a university in Madrid, and she also runs swimming lessons for kids, just so she can make extra income to support her expenses. On a cool evening, she and her boyfriend Leo eat out with a few friends. Leo wants to announce to their friends that there is a project he has that will do well if it works out as planned, but Marta suggests they keep it within themselves for now, especially since he will have to talk about it again if it fails. Marta reveals she will be going to spend a few months with her family in a locality on the Atlantic coast called Gijon once summer break starts, so it will be a good time to ease off a little. Leo teases and accuses her for not taking him along with her, and they all laugh, turning the whole conversation into a fun-filled one. The next day, Marta meets up with a few friends of hers, Paula and Madre. They spend some time chatting and discussing where her things will be while she is away. They tease her knowing she and Leo live together. It is all just a little girl's time out before she embarks on her journey, and it is one of those fun moments she loves dearly. Marta giggles and plays along with Paula and Madre, who are quite a funny lot. She will miss them when she is away from town. She gets back home and begins to pack her things into a box which she will be taking with her on her trip. Leo stops her halfway and begins to kiss her. He loves her from the depths of him, and he cherishes each moment that they spend together. Leo wants to hold her some more, especially as she is going to be away for quite some time, and he misses her already. According to their plan, she will be away for a few months and he will have to come join her later since they will be attending a wedding together. Later, Leo helps her take her things to the car and drives her down to the station where she will take a train heading to Gijon. When they arrive, they kiss each other goodbye and remind each other how much they love one another before Marta walks over to get a ticket. A few hours later, Marta arrives at her destination. She heads straight home and then sends a message to her lover informing him that she has arrived safely. However, she needs to unpack and rest for a while because she is exhausted from the journey. When she is done, she sends a message to her friend Elena, informing her that she is in town and they can hang out later in the evening. Done with the most important tasks, Marta takes a look at some family photos, smiling as she recalls some fond memories. She rests up for a while before it is time to meet with Elena. Her friend is excited to see her and cannot wait to hear all about everything going on in her life. She rides them to the beach, laughing and talking all through the ride as Elena shares details about her scholarship, which will be ending soon. It is going to be fun for them as there is a lot of catching up to do. By the time she gets back home, Marta is exhausted. She freshens up and reads for some time, while her mother dozes off while watching the TV. The next day, she meets up with Pablo, an old friend and childhood love. He pays for her order at a restaurant. Pablo asks if they can meet up some other time, but she already has plans to spend a day with her mother uninterrupted and then with her girls. She is yet to decide, so she assures him that she will let him know when she has time. They stroll down the park together, talking about their lives and activities they engage in. She learns that he still lives with his parents, claiming everything is expensive now, and he cannot afford to pay all the bills by himself, unlike her who has someone to split the bills with. Well, she is glad he has his old job, but she wonders how he knows that she splits bills. Marta maintains her smile throughout the conversation. She is not surprised though. She does upload stuff on Instagram, so he must have seen it from there. She continues engaging with him and learning more about the things he currently does and the old things he has stopped doing. She seems to be enjoying her time in Gijon. There is her family on one side, and then her friends. Marta steps out with her friends Elena and Anna. They are having a fun time drinking cider, which is something she does not do in Madrid. Marta excuses herself and walks a little away from them to somewhere more quiet. She sends a message to Leo, apologizing for not writing to him sooner. She explains how the girls had dragged her out even though she did not want to go out, but she had to dress up and follow them. Soon after, she goes back to join the girls and a few other friends of theirs, including Pablo. It feels as though there is a past that has not been forgotten by Marta and Pablo. Let us unravel what decisions Marta will be forced to make, and if they will have any effect on her relationship with Leo. The following day, Marta tries on a new swimsuit she got from a store. It looks nice and is perfect for swimming. She wears bum shorts to rock it as she cannot go all out wearing only a swimsuit. It turns out, she is on a swim date with Pablo. Pablo still yearns for her, and here is an opportunity to get up close with her again. He stylishly pulls off one hand of the swimsuit as he assists her in rubbing some sunscreen on her back. They are having quite a moment and soon get into the water in what seems like a couple of swimming activities, and in the process, old flames reignite. After the swimming date, they end up in bed. and Pablo makes sure to give her a remarkable moment of sexual bliss as they pant with ecstasy while exploring their bodies. The next day, she joins her mother and sister to go take out the old flowers at their father's tomb. It has been a long time since they visited, but what matters most is that they are all together doing it at the moment. Later that day, Marta stops by Pablo's place. It seems that she is still not over him, and it's quite easy to come back to the one she once loved. She is quite a talented artist. He looks through the portrait of both of them, which she draws up, depicting some intimate moments between them. He thinks she has gotten so much better, and remembers how he used to say she should be an artist. She reminds him that she has always said he should have finished college because he cannot make money as a painter, but he can earn a living as a chemist. Pablo is not expecting to hear that from her, and her words sting. He believes there are painters out there in the world who live off their handwork, so it is not impossible to make a living off painting. He suggests she stays instead of going back to Madrid, since she only paints when she is back in Gijon. He even says that they might not have much to live on and might be poor, but they will be happy. He sounds funny to her, especially the way he is emphasizing them being poor and happy. Marta chuckles and casually says they will be eating more rice and tomato sauce, and maybe tuna. It seems Marta has forgotten about her life and boyfriend Leo, who is waiting for her back in Madrid. In the next scene, Marta heads to Elena's place. They stay the night chatting about Elena's French boyfriend, and her friend makes sure to fill her in on the details and what led to their breakup. Elena asks about Marta's love life, but she is not ready to talk about it, or maybe she does not know which of the men in her life to talk about. A few days later, Marta hangs out with a couple of friends. She is talking to a little girl named Michaela when Anna and others join her. They all soon start chatting and talking about some silly things they did at one point in their lives. Meanwhile, Leo unexpectedly arrives with the help of one of Marta's girls. He intends to surprise her and sneakily walks behind her. Marta is shocked as she responds on impulse to his tickle. When she turns and sees him standing right there behind her, she is surprised and wonders how he found his way to come meet her. She introduces him to a few friends who are new to him, including Michaela, and then takes him away to show him a few things. Her friends gossip about Leo, referring to him as a loving guy for coming to surprise his woman all the way from Madrid. Will Leo's heart be broken? The time Marta spends with Pablo lessens as she is faced with a decision to choose between both men, and she doesn't know who to pick. She avoids Pablo's calls, as she does not want Leo to suspect anything going on between her and Pablo. Leo spends the night in Gijon. He will be staying for some time, so Marta takes him to see her mother. They eat lunch together while her mom gets to find out more about Leo and the kind of job he does. After the introductions, Marta and Leo spend some time seeing old photos on the phone until they fall asleep. A while later, she receives a call from Pablo, but she ignores it and goes back to sleep. When she is alone, she calls him back and apologizes for not taking his calls or showing up at his place, which has become a new norm for her. She explains that Leo suddenly showed up earlier than she expected him to because he intended to surprise her. Marta is completely confused and does not know how to deal with the situation without raising Leo's suspicion. She promises to write to him in a few days and assures Pablo that she will talk to Leo after a few days, as she is not sure if she will still go back to their apartment in Madrid or not. She is at this point where she just wants to stay with Pablo, and the thoughts of Leo or Madrid are gradually leaving her mind. Pablo goes out to hang out with his friends Robert and Julio. They chat for some time and Robert suggests they take some pictures. He asks for the help of a lady named Mar. After the snapshots, he thanks her and engages in a conversation with her and her friend Celia. Robert introduces Pablo and Julio to the ladies while engaging them in a conversation. The other guys greet the ladies and exchange pleasantries with them. A few days pass, and Leo is not enjoying Marta's company like he used to. He notices how she seems to have changed overnight. She takes him sightseeing and he suggests they take a break, so he finds a place for them to sit in the middle of some bushes. He has been yearning and longing for some moment of intimacy with her, but she keeps evading him and bringing up reasons why they should not make love. He kisses her lips and begins to fondle her bosom. Marta complies for a few minutes, but seeing how intense he is becoming, she pulls away. Leo must have won not only her body but her heart and faithfulness. She tells him that this is not the right place for what he wants, as anyone can see them. Leo gets annoyed and tired of all her many excuses, and he feels she is making things up to avoid getting intimate with him. He reminds her how she used her mother and sister as an excuse, even including the neighbor's cat. He is not happy that she is depriving him of her body. He gets up and walks away from her angrily. He ignores her pleas and heads straight for the car. He has now lost interest in what they came out for, and he simply wants to go home. She follows him to the car and tries to explain the reason for her actions, but he will not have any of her stories. She probably feels she will be cheating on Pablo. Her emotions and loyalty are divided. Leo must really love her because when they get back home that night, he soon forgets all about the argument they had earlier in the day. He helps her arrange the bed and do other stuff around the house. That night, they stay up late and he spends the time with her playing a game of shadows with their hands until nature calls them into the sweet arms of sleep. A few days later, they attend her friend's wedding together. Seeing the vow exchange ceremony of another couple makes Leo feel a bit emotional. He kisses her lips gently and displays affection for her, forgetting that the occasion belongs to someone else as he confesses love for her. After the wedding ceremony, they take photos with the groom, along with other friends present at the event. Later, they take a few steps away to take some selfies. Elena is present at the event, so they take turns taking photos, and Elena captures the both of them together. The reception after the wedding is a very fun one. Everyone parties hard and dances as much as they want. Marta, Leo, and Elena take turns dancing and make sure they enjoy the event to its fullest. With music blasting through the speakers, everyone presents their dance energetically, and some even form a circle where they all showcase their dance moves one after another. In these moments spent with Leo, Marta acts like everything about Pablo has been wiped off from her mind. She is supposed to have a conversation with Leo as she promised Pablo, and she is supposed to tell Leo about her real feelings. But the way Leo always looks at her weakens her, and she can't even summon the courage to tell him that she does not want to return to Madrid. Could it be the fear of hurting him, or she is yet to accept that she loves him? Days after the wedding, Leo comes up with an idea: a hike and picnic along the beach. Marta takes him to the beach, but instead of just chilling in the regular areas, they climb some rocks above water level. She's finding the exercise quite strenuous, and she wonders where he gets his crazy ideas for a date. They soon settle for a large rock, and Marta takes photos of them, which she intends to post later. Leo kisses her cheek and pulls her close as he takes out a stick of cigarette to smoke. They spend a few hours there just enjoying the scenery and their company, especially Leo. He will be leaving soon, and there is no fixed date yet on when she will be returning to Madrid. He does not want to be away for too long, and he cannot wait to have her back already. When they get back home, Leo packs up his things, as it is time for him to leave and return to Madrid. The wedding he came for is over. Marta helps him with packing his stuff up, ensuring that he is not forgetting anything behind. She carries his bag and assists him with taking a few things to the car. She kisses him goodbye, and Leo professes his love for her again, as if he is never getting tired of telling her that. He cannot wait to have her with him in Madrid. He hugs her once more before letting go, so she can return to the house. As soon as Leo leaves town, Marta goes to Pablo. It looks like she has missed him a great deal. She kisses him fondly and allows him to suckle on her, unlike when she was with Leo. It seems she has grown to fall in love with Pablo all over again, and the time to choose who to settle for is fast approaching. After their intense session, she lies in Pablo's arms, and they start talking about some serious stuff. Pablo wants to know if she talked to Leo as she promised. She confesses that she couldn't tell Leo anything. Her determination weakened as she found it very difficult to even bring the subject up. After seeing the way Leo looked at her, she just couldn't bring herself to break his heart. She doesn't even know if she is in love with him or not, because sometimes she thinks she is, and then sometimes she is not sure. Pablo wonders how she will be having conflicting feelings. He thinks she should know what she wants, or who she loves by now. Marta explains that she is conflicted because she doesn't even know if she loves Leo for him, or because of the way he loves and takes care of her. She feels Leo's love for her is so much more than what she can get from a regular relationship. She acknowledges her feelings for Pablo, but she is afraid that everything will fall apart in a few days and he might no longer want her anymore. Pablo thinks it is unfair of her to suggest that what he wants changes, and he can just decide to call off what they have. He agrees that they've known each other for some time now, but it is not enough to judge him by it, especially now that they've decided that things will be different. She explains that she is not blaming him or anyone. Pablo feels angry, and Marta is also upset, but then, she thinks it is for the best. She spends the next few days with her friends, and on one occasion, Pablo meets her and the girls at an outdoor bar. She maintains her cool and acts normal with him as though nothing happened between them. On another occasion, they meet up somewhere in town, and it seems their emotions rekindle again. They end up in bed in their usual routine, but this time, Marta is leading the romance between them. She kisses him all over and begins to ravish his body and play until Pablo pulls away. He asks her to get off him and takes a seat for a while. She wonders what the problem might be. She asks if he wants to take a nap, or maybe she is doing something wrong. Pablo puts on his shirt and politely asks that they leave. Marta puts on her pants quietly and picks up her jacket. Maybe he is still upset about the things she said the other day. She thinks he might be taking things a bit more seriously than he should. When she gets back home, Marta solemnly takes off her makeup. She is in deep thought, wondering how she can be so confused about her love life. She doesn't even know what she wants anymore. Her phone buzzes, and when she opens it, it is a message from Leo. He wants to know when she will be coming back so they can continue their routine of things they used to do together. Marta breaks down in tears. She sort of regrets her actions. She doesn't even know how she has someone like Leo who loves her so much and never seems to get enough of her, yet her heart is not settled with him. Or maybe she's just a bit too greedy, or has no self-control. She tears up even more as she listens to Leo talk about how she used to scold him for smoking in the house. It makes us wonder what more she wants, after having a man who talks about his love for her 1,000,000 times daily. She dries up her tears and sends a message to Leo claiming she is a bit busy at the moment, and she will call him later when she is free. Still battling with her emotions, Marta spends some time watching a theater play with Elena and a few kids. Elena sees that her friend does not look like she is in a good mood. She can see Marta's pain, but her dear friend is not ready to talk about it. The best she can do is be a source of comfort until she is ready to talk. Marta spends some more time outside the theater with Elena, and she uses the period to put her head together. Summer is almost over, and it is time for her to decide on doing what her head tells her to do and what her heart tells her. She has to choose between her childhood sweetheart and a carefree life, or a life full of responsibilities and routines, as well as a man who loves her dearly. Finally, she decides to go back to Madrid. She packs up her bags with a decision to return to her routine life. She calls on Elena to drop her off at the terminal. Elena obliges her and bids her friend goodbye with a promise to come visit her in October. The journey to Madrid is quite a sober one for Marta. She thinks over everything that has happened recently and the role she played in everything. She arrives in the town and heads straight home to be with the man who loves her unconditionally. Meanwhile, Pablo has moved on with another lady. He goes fishing with her and takes pictures of him. He asks her to come closer and kisses her forehead like Marta never existed in his life. A few days later, Marta is all settled with Leo. They spend time playing games together and doing every other thing they do together as a team. She joins him in assembling some furniture, which seems a bit difficult at first, but they later get the hang of it. She even playfully suggests they might just start earning a living by assembling furniture for other people. Leo looks at her lovingly, expressing how glad he is that she is back in his arms and they can continue being the best for each other.